Hello, Arsenal Stage News. Welcome back again to Arsenal Transfer News. Gunners weigh up Garnacho move as Arteta shapes squad. Arsenal's summer transfer activity has been one of the most ambitious in the Premier League, with Mikel Arteta determined to push his side closer to the title. The Gunners have already invested heavily in key areas, but new reports suggest they briefly considered an audacious swoop for Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho. According to the Manchester Evening News, Arsenal explored the possibility of signing the Argentine winger earlier this summer. Garnacho has been one of United's brightest young prospects, but with new manager Ruben Amorim reshaping his squad, his future was briefly the subject of speculation. Arsenal, along with Tottenham Hotspur and Atletico Madrid, assessed potential deals. However, none of the three clubs ultimately followed through, with each opting for alternative transfer targets instead. For Arsenal, the decision not to pursue Garnacho came as Arteta prioritized other areas of the squad. The club has already welcomed several high-profile signings, with Sporting Lisbon striker Victor Gyökeres, Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi, and Chelsea's Noni Madueke among the headline arrivals. Each of the trio is expected to play a major role this season, and all could be involved when Arsenal travel to Old Trafford on Sunday for their Premier League opener. The Gunners have also strengthened their depth, adding Christian Norgard from Brentford, young defender Christian Mosquera, and goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga. These reinforcements ensure that Arsenal now possess both quality and depth across multiple positions, a crucial factor as they prepare to juggle domestic and European commitments. Even so, Arsenal are not done in the market. Crystal Palace star Eberechi Eze remains strongly linked with a move to the Emirates, though the chances of completing a deal before the United clash appear slim. Palace's high valuation has made negotiations difficult, and with Spurs also circling, Arsenal may yet face competition if they decide to formalize their interest later in the window. Elsewhere, Tottenham have looked at both Eze and Manchester City's Savinho as they rebuild under Ange Postecoglou, while Atletico Madrid have shifted focus to Villarreal's Alex Baena instead of pursuing Garnacho. For now, Arsenal fans will be eager to see how their new-look team performs on the pitch. Arteta's side begin the campaign with renewed optimism, boosted by smart recruitment, and a clear intent to close the gap on Manchester City. A win at Old Trafford would be the perfect way to underline their ambitions and show that their summer business has put them in prime position for another title challenge. The summer transfer window is building towards a dramatic conclusion, and Arsenal's business in the market is far from over. One of the Gunners' main targets remains Eberechi Eze, but negotiations are proving tricky. Crystal Palace have set a high asking price for the England international, and Arsenal are reportedly unwilling to meet that figure. The situation has opened the door for North London rivals Tottenham, who are said to be preparing to intensify their pursuit of the 26-year-old attacking midfielder. Meanwhile, another potential target, Ademola Lookman, appears to be off the table. Reports suggest the Atalanta winger has no interest in a move to the Emirates and instead has his sights set on joining Italian giants Inter Milan. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Arsenal's rivals Manchester City are considering an ambitious move for Real Madrid winger Rodrigo. The Brazilian's future at the Bernabeu has been the subject of speculation, and a transfer to the Etihad could have a major impact on the title race. One player Arsenal definitely will not be signing is AC Milan star Rafael Leao. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has poured cold water on any rumors linking the Portugal international to the Emirates, insisting the Gunners have never even considered a move. Never been an option. Leao stays at Milan, Romano stated on social media. Off the pitch, some Arsenal fans have voiced frustration over the referee appointments for their Premier League opener against Manchester United. Paul Tierney will take charge of the game, with Simon Hooper and Jared Gillett also involved in officiating duties. The reaction online has been far from positive, with some supporters predicting controversial decisions, including dodgy penalties or random red cards, going against them. Manager Mikel Arteta, however, is keeping his focus on strengthening the squad. The Gunners have already made 6 signings this summer, but the Spaniard admits more movement is possible. Let's see what happens in terms of where the squad is in the next few weeks, but we are actively looking at options, Arteta said. There are a few players that have to leave as well, so we'll be open to see what happens. With the Premier League season set to kick off imminently, Liverpool hosting Bournemouth in the opener, Arsenal are preparing for a challenging run of fixtures. Supporters will be eager to see if any late transfer business can give them the extra edge in their pursuit of silverware this season. Manchester United and Arsenal are set to meet in a blockbuster clash on the opening weekend of the Premier League season. But as many as 6 players from both sides could miss the encounter through injury. For United, the biggest question mark is over Andre Onana. The goalkeeper has been sidelined for much of pre-season with a hamstring problem, leaving Altay Bayindir to step in. The Turkish shot-stopper impressed last year in an FA Cup final win over Arsenal, but the Red Devils are still hopeful their number 1 will be ready. Onana recently offered an upbeat update saying, "I feel good, I feel great. It's been a few difficult weeks, but hopefully I will be back for the start of the season." However, manager Ruben Amorim faces further defensive headaches. Lisandro Martinez remains out as his long-running injury troubles persist. Although he traveled to the United States for pre-season, there is still no confirmed return date for the Argentine center-back. Another doubt is right-back Noussair Mazraoui, who has not been seen in training recently. He was forced off at halftime during United's pre-season opener against Leeds in Stockholm last month, and while the nature of his injury has not been disclosed, his absence raises concerns about his availability. Up front, Joshua Zirkzee is battling to be fit. The Dutch striker, linked with a potential move away from Old Trafford amid United's summer recruitment spree, had been targeting the Arsenal fixture for his return. Whether he makes it remains uncertain. Arsenal also have injury concerns as they prepare for the trip to Old Trafford. Star striker Gabriel Jesus is sidelined with a serious knee injury sustained earlier this year, a blow that influenced the Gunners' move for Victor Gyökeres. The Swedish forward signed from Sporting CP is expected to lead the line on Sunday. Leandro Trossard is another question mark for Mikel Arteta. The Belgian forward missed Arsenal's 3-0 win over Athletic Bilbao in their final preseason match due to a groin issue. Despite his absence, Arteta sounded optimistic. He had a little niggle in the groin, but he should be fine. The fixture holds extra intrigue after the sides drew in this matchup last season, and both will be eager to start their campaigns on a high. United are navigating a defensive injury crisis, while Arsenal integrate big-money summer signings into their squad. With so many fitness doubts, final team selections may hinge on late assessments. For now, the spotlight remains on Onana's recovery and Gyökeres' debut, as Old Trafford braces for what could be an early season classic. Arsenal target Eberechi Eze outshines Jack Grealish, leaves German critics embarrassed. Eberechi Eze has turned the tables on his doubters, particularly within the German camp, after a rapid rise in both form and reputation has seen him move ahead of Jack Grealish in England's attacking hierarchy. The Crystal Palace talisman, now heavily linked with Arsenal and Tottenham, has become one of the most in-demand players in the Premier League, proving that the skeptics of just a year ago were wrong. The story stretches back to Euro 2024, when then England boss Gareth Southgate made the bold call to include Eze in his tournament squad ahead of Grealish. At the time, Eze was still a developing figure at Selhurst Park, while Grealish was a Champions League winning winger at Manchester City. Many observers, including sources from inside the Germany setup, saw Grealish as the greater threat. Reports suggested German players and staff described Grealish as someone who provokes fear when running at defenders, while regarding Eze as less dangerous and relatively unknown. That perception has aged poorly. Over the past year, Eze has enjoyed a breakthrough, producing consistent match-winning performances for Palace and cementing himself as a genuine international-level attacker. His technical ability, vision, and fearless dribbling have made him a nightmare for defenders. Exactly the sort of qualities that Germany once insisted only Grealish possessed. Now, at 27, Eze finds himself at the center of a high-stakes transfer battle. The Guardian reports that Tottenham have already opened talks with Palace, but the player is believed to favor a move to their North London rivals Arsenal. His £68 million release clause, valid until Friday, gives suitors a short window to act. Meanwhile, Grealish's career trajectory has gone in the opposite direction. The 29-year-old, who has 39 England caps, has not played for his country in almost a year and has been left out of the last 3 international squads. His standing at club level has also diminished. After falling down Pep Guardiola's pecking order at Manchester City, Grealish has now moved to Everton on loan, hoping to revive his form and confidence. Under new City boss Thomas Tuchel, he has yet to make an appearance. The contrast between the two wingers is stark. A year ago, Germany's players were relieved to face Eze instead of Grealish. Today, it's Eze who is the feared, sought-after star, and Grealish who is searching for a way back into the limelight. If Arsenal secure his signature, Eze's rise from underestimated talent to marquee signing will serve as a powerful reminder of how quickly football's hierarchy can change.